Good morning, cyber traders. Happy Friday, everybody. Here in New York, it's 9 a.m. and we're getting ready 30 minutes until the market opens up. And you know what? Got a little bit of a correction that came in yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about it. A couple of fabulous 7 stocks took some big hits yesterday. S&P took a nice little hit, but listen, I was talking about some of the fabulous 7s a lot more than ever because I'm finding out more and more people own those stocks. And sometimes I shock myself to know how many people of you guys own them, but you'd be shocked how many other stocks are out there that you could trade exactly the same, less expensive, less risk, more reward. But before we do that, like always, we like to touch upon what happened yesterday, what stocks made some big moves. Want to talk about a couple of changes that we made here at Cyber Trading University to make your life a little bit easier and understand what's going on and all that good stuff. But I'd like to start off and just talk about what happened yesterday. So I want to just touch upon really quick on the NVIDIA trade. So NVIDIA took a really, really big hit, and I got a lot of scrutiny on about the stock all over social media. So I posted a video, and everyone just like, it's so touchy. It's so nasty. Like, oh, you know what? This is just a normal day in NVIDIA. Listen, you know what? It might be, but I want to just show you something a little bit on the long-term chart here. And by the way, that's the link right there for some of you here that want to be able to watch that video. And, and I encourage you guys to leave comments, and reply back to the comments. But right here, I just want to show you what we got going on right here. So we had this big move all the way up to about 140. Okay. Now remember, this is at a split. It's really 1400. So keep in mind on that. Now, the issue that you have to understand when it comes to this is that it backed off and it almost looked like a double top, but it never got to its previous high. It hit this high right here. And it's probably going to get down. It's going to test probably the 120s. Like it or not, that looks like where it's going. And that's okay. Listen, when stocks go down, it's healthy. Okay, because healthy in a way that if it builds a foundation, then it will stable. Just like what happened over here when it was back into March, where it kind of built a stability. It took about 3 months, and finally it broke out, and then that's how you could rally. So, can it go higher? Of course it could. But listen, when you look at over what happened, since. Going all the way back till January, stock was $50. It is up about almost, it's almost a triple. All right. So there's always going to be profit taking. I'm about looking at 5 years or 3 years down the road. Let's look at that. And so always just take that in consideration. But you could always, one thing we always teach at Cyber Trading University, and we talk about it all the time, you can't go broke taking profits. Okay. And you could always buy it back cheaper. That's just how it is, And the issue we always want to tell you is I want to get to the Tesla trade. Okay. So when you have a stock like Tesla, which, we found this stock when it made that big pop because we followed those orders. When it broke that big resistance levels and started breaking up over here, when they go up very, very fast, just remember, they come down twice as fast. All right. You'll see me talk about it all the time in the trading room and all the time. You don't want a stock to go up so fast. You just don't want that to happen. And listen, it's awesome. It's great. Went from 200 to 220, 270. A lot of you were saying to 265. I got out at 240. Okay. All right. I got out 240. You know what? Could I made more? Yeah. But remember, great traders never buy at the bottom, sell top. It always buy in between. All right. But everything also did exactly what they were planning on doing. Now, another good thing I want to point out and I want to bring up is that, Boyle, right? I just want to bring this up. This is more of an educational thing. So I love Boyle, okay, because I'm going to bring a trend chart right here. You could see it had a lot of support right around here. A lot of support from February on, right around here, around $13. Now, I got in around $13.15 or $13.20 or something like that. Because, listen, we're doing a swing trade. 20 cents not going to make a big deal, right? Day trade's a big difference. And you know what happened? It broke it. And I said, screw it. I'm out. I got out, okay, at 13. And look where it is now. Now it dropped down to 11.90. So, some people are like, why are you like splitting hairs? Because you know what? When you break through a major support level, it's gonna go lower. And that's just the way it is. So, watching a stock, I was a big fan. We traded the stock back in May when it ran from like 13 up to 24. Then it came back to 16, went back to 24. It was a nice little trend. And now finally came back down. I'm like, okay, wow, great. Could buy at support levels here. Good big support. Major support. Broke it. Game over. And that's what happens. What you have to understand about stocks when you trade long term. All right, now let's talk about what happened yesterday, because there were a couple of very nice stocks. I want to start off talking about Soons. Soons was an absolute layup. This trade right here, I think everyone that traded it, almost 90% of you made money. And I think almost everyone knew to get out right at that $6 price range. It had a gorgeous Fausto flag, had a gorgeous iceberg order, had gorgeous everything. Okay. This was basically the big winner. It wasn't a huge winner. It only ran from like 930, ran from like 550 up to 50 cents on 1,000 shares, $500. We're happy with that. Listen, if you made half that, you did pretty damn well. So Soons was probably the best trade. Not the greatest, most profitable trade, but probably the most easiest, level one, educational, patience, everything. Awesome. I loved it. Everyone did great on that. Congratulations if you got in that trade. LCFY was another stock that you guys traded yesterday, did pretty well. It was a little bit more on the nasty side. You could see here, let me just bring this back over here. You could see it right here from yesterday. It had a nice move from $2 up to a whopping $10. Ran all the way up to about 8, almost 9 right here at 10:30. It was a big mover. A lot of halts. Tier size were really small. Remember, one of the biggest reasons and more cautious we are is we don't care about how much it goes up, because you didn't make any money until you sell it. So it's all about the risk factor. Remember the 3 T's: tradable, trend, and trap. Okay, so that one did pretty well. A couple other stocks did pretty well. Run. And not just by the name, but Run did really well too. I like Run. I think I'm going to put it on the watch list again. I think I'm going to put it back on the watch list. Had a really good move. Slow. Everything looked pretty good here. Take my legal pad. Start with a brand new sheet. Run did pretty well. It's up a little bit this morning. Who knows if it's going to continue, but we'll check it out on the level 4. But we got some resistance levels here. Not a bad look moving stock right there. So Run is pretty good too. And then we had also, what else we had? Oh, Delta Airlines got destroyed. You can see it right here. Delta, bad earnings. But the thing about it, it did come back. It did had a little bounce. Once again, another brand name stock. We liked it because it tested some big support levels here, which was the resistance back in March. There were some big orders out there buying it, and it did make a big comeback. You know what? I'm not going to let my personal feelings of Delta to kick in, because I am a huge fan of Delta. I do feel I did get a little pricey compared to some of the discount airlines. They are the gold standard of flying, and you get what you pay for. But I think you could get to a point where they got a little too expensive. But anyway, Delta came back a little bit. I would keep an eye on it. Okay, I know that's we had some earnings that came out. So I know Citibank came out with some earnings. They did beat earnings. They did really well this morning. So you could see that one did pretty well. So some of the, I don't know, let's call the Fabulous 5. I'm going to start a new one. Okay. I know you got the Fabulous 7, but I'm going to come up with a new one for the names of the banks, because the banks are really, and some of you from Canada know this, the banks run all of Canada. It's like 5 banks that run the whole Canada. Over here, we have like 3,000 or 5,000 banks or something like that. But Citibank is doing pretty good. I'm going to put that on the watch list. You got to check on level 4. And then you had a couple of moves on some other stocks like Lyft, LF, which one? YFT. Lyft did pretty decent. Let's do that one over there. So Lyft had a good pop yesterday, and Uber. Okay. So Uber did pretty well too. You could see right smack in the middle of the day. Obviously, news came out, and those did pretty well. Yeah, I saw that. Wells Fargo did come down pretty bad. They didn't meet their earnings. But what's Wells Fargo? What is it? It was WFT, I think. What's Wells Fargo? Anyway, what's the symbol of Wells Fargo? Everybody remember? I don't know what the symbol of it. WFC. I was close. I forgot. I was close. So that one's taken a very big hit. We'll keep an eye on that one too, Wells Fargo, because remember, we are in earnings season. So actually next week when it really kicks in. Okay, which we got a lot of earnings, so it should be a fun week. All right, let's go over through the watch list and see what's going on. So the big mover we got right now this morning is this TOY. TOYO. Now, there are a couple of orders out here you could see here that are buying it right around $1.80 to $2. Not really seeing too many big sellers. It's got great volume. Stock traded about 23 million in pre-market. It's got great volatility, but it's obviously an IPO. Stock just came public. So I'll put it on the watch list, but I'll put it on the B list. I know we had it on the morning watch list for some of you that logged in. We posted it at, was it 7:47? Okay. So we'll keep an eye on that one, on the TOYO. That one's not terrible. Working off the big percentage gainers as usual. Okay. So we have this SGBC. All right. So this one has a ladder, actually has a couple of big orders out here on the offer. You can see it right here, $4 and $6. The issue with this one too, very, very thinly traded. Tier size is small, price levels are big. The stock just started this morning at 6 a.m., went from $4 to a whopping $14 and came crashing down. It's a new IPO, another one. I would be very careful of it. I'm not going to put on my watch list. I'm going to probably scratch it. Now, remember, to repeat it again, what is today? Friday. What do we know about Fridays? The weekend, the summer, people go away, not that much action, you know. So be very, very careful on a day like today, okay? So, and as usual, we're probably not going to find a lot of stocks. Adam on YouTube, we're going to check that stock out. What are you talking about? The VEV? Yeah, VEV is moving up really nicely. That one also came up on the watch list. The only issue with this stock right here, it's below $1. And when we trade stocks below $1, it's very difficult for us to follow the big block orders. I'll check it out right now for you, Adam. I'll see what's out there. But and then also you're dealing with fractions of a penny. So yeah, you can see it right here. You had you got some orders out there showing. I mean, we'll put it on the watch list. I'll see how it plays out. I like to usually stick with stocks above $1, though. I don't like to deal with fractions of a penny because the spreads get very, very, very sketchy. Zap is moving up pretty decent too this morning. Zap has been a fun stock for us. We've been watching this thing. It's just amazing. This thing was a 70-cent stock, and then once it got around $1 or $2, we ran to a whopping 20. Zap has good volatility, good market. We got some nice orders out here around 15. A couple of big iceberg orders showing up over here. Yep. I'm just seeing where all the algorithms and the high frequency trades are. Zap is okay. That one's going to go on the watch list. And that pretty much does it. Once we break 10%, I don't like to go any more than that. This is an ETF. We're going to stay away from that. Nothing really going on there. STEM. There's Wells Fargo down 6%. And that pretty much does it. So there's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is holding. For some of you fans out here for NVIDIA, program trading kicks in at 9:30. So if you want to be able to join our trading room, if you guys want to be able to watch us and see how we trade these stocks, just take your phone, scan that little QR code on top left-hand corner, and you can come and join us, and you can see it. But like usually we won't see the program trading kick until about 9:30. There are some orders out there, though. I will show you. You still got right now, it's just pre-market. You got $250,000 at 140. You got another $250,000 at 150. Not really seeing too many buyers out there. Not really seeing too many buyers. So be really cautious about that. All right. So you got the NVIDIA, you got the Tesla trade. These are all the stocks I took, all the fabulous sevens that I would be concerned about. Tesla. Yeah, we'll look in somewhere around 230. That's what I'm seeing here. Around 230 right here. See it right there? You got 140,000. And listen, when the market opens up, these numbers will probably jump by 5 to 10 times more volume come in, because that's when program trading kicks in. But you're seeing 230, 224 right around there. So, that's where I'm seeing it there. YouTube member right here. Somebody on YouTube says I made money on this one stock right here. What, the CGBS? Yeah, listen, It's a nice stock, but just be very careful of it because it's a new IPO and not going to have that too much data out there. All right. Let's get ready for the market open. I'm sorry, but I went a little behind. Just a couple of quick announcements. We made some changes in the cyber group room. Okay. We changed our screen layout. We wanted to simplify it. We're finding a lot more people that are starting off feel like they're getting lost and confused because there's too many windows. And I get it. Sometimes it's nicer just to look at just one screen and just work off that one screen. And we like to just show you the order book so we could see the high frequency trades. Okay. That's main goal. So just want to kind of like take it back. And you know what? If you're a gold student, a platinum student, you shouldn't be watching our screen very often. You're probably on your execution system anyway, and you got your layout. But the main reason for the screen that we share is for newcomers, and if we want to point something in a bigger way. Because listen, the more windows we open up, the smaller the numbers are and the harder it is to read and the more confused you get. So we always just like to simplify it. So that's really what the change is. John G was emailing me. He's like, what's with the change in the room? It's just, that's basically what we're doing. But we'll have a second screen if you want to we'll show the more detailed part of it. But we're only trying to, train everyone, as a beginner. Let's get ready for the market opened up, everyone. All right, guys. Once again, if I don't see you, we'll be back. And if I don't see you, enjoy the rest of your weekend. But we will be here all day. If you're watching on social media, once again, and if you've been following me and everything else, if you want to take it to that next step and you want to come and join our trading room, you could take your phone or you could scan that little email link up on the screen, and I'll put up there for you, www.ctu.co/free. Just click on that right there, and you'll be happy to come and join us. All right, guys? Don't go anywhere. Everyone else, we'll be back in 10 minutes for the market opened up. Let's get ready, okay? Go fill up your coffees. Go hit the restrooms. And let's see what we can do see if there's anything else opens up. I'll post that link immediately on the alerts. Good luck, everybody.